going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about 5 fitness truths that people seem to not want to believe, regardless of how often I talk about them. People still think incorrectly, so let's get into it. And this kind of goes along with the same thing as like the myth busting and that type of series that we're doing. So first off, you cannot target the inner chest, okay? You cannot target the inner chest. There is, however, a upper and a lower chest, but there is no inner chest. You cannot isolate it within the inner chest because, let's kind of get into it. So it has one insertion point, right, onto the humerus, but from there, it splits and one part of the pec hooks onto the sternum, right, this hard bone in the middle of our chest, the sternum. The other one hooks onto our clavicle, right? So from there, if you go more straight on, you're going to get more of what most people think of the chest, right? The meatier part of the chest. If you do a little bit more of an angle, depending on the angle, you're going to get a little bit more of the upper chest. There is a separation because there are 2 insertions, so depending on where you put the load, that's the fibers that will be targeted a little bit more. So upper and lower chest, yes, or upper and mid chest, there is no under boob or lower chest. There's not 3 parts, it's just the 2, upper and then the normal, depending on your angle, because there are 2 originates. It originates in 2 places. There's 2 origins. Anyway, let's keep going. So you cannot target the inner chest. You cannot spot reduce. I know this is a mind blower. This is really kind of a downer, but it is the reality of the situation. Your body will take fat from where it wants to first, right? There are some people that lose it in their neck and their upper chest first. There are some people that lose it in their legs first. Women, most of the time you lose it in your boobs first. Midsection typically is last because on average, especially with men, kind of this love handle area, there are more number of adipose tissue cells, so there's more cells in there. So your body may be reducing, everywhere at the same time, at least a little bit, but because there's more cells here, these are going to be like kind of the last thing that falls off. So you cannot spot reduce. You cannot get rid of this before you can't spot reduce. That's what I'm trying to get at. Anybody that says you can spot reduce is very, very incorrect. There was, however, I do have to touch on this because if you do fact check me, which I recommend, always do your own research. There was a study done, I want to say in the early 90s or late 90s, early 2000s, where people did a hard strength training workout and then immediately went to the bike. And there was a slight, not a statistical significant, there was a slight decrease in size of the legs. Take that what you will, but it was one study. It was, the evidence does not support it in future studies and things like that. So that's the only caveat, but for the sake of this video, for the sake of your life, for the sake of everything, you cannot spot reduce. Awesome. Now that we got that, cannot spot reduce, let's move on. Apple cider vinegar will not burn fat. It won't. Anything that you consume will not burn fat for you. I know it sucks, I know it's difficult, but apple cider vinegar will not burn fat. There's a huge push for it. There's a lot of products, there's a lot of gummies that are apple cider vinegar, there are a lot of gummies that mimic apple cider vinegar. Whatever the case is, it's not going to magically help you burn more fat. Sorry. 4th one, eating healthy. This is a huge one. Eating healthy does not mean that you will lose weight. I talk to a lot of people, and I genuinely believe them that they say, "Oh, I eat so healthy, and I can't move the weight. I eat so healthy, the number on the scale isn't changing. Oh, I eat so healthy, I eat tons of salads, I eat tons of, whatever, and I just cannot lose the weight." Eating healthy has nothing to do with it. Calorie deficit is key. Consistently being in a lower calorie balance is going to be what actually gets you to lose fat. Do we want to eat generally healthy? Yeah, because if you don't, then you're gonna have your GI is gonna be upset. Your poops aren't gonna be as good. You're going to feel like crap. You're not going to have very much energy. Depending on your macronutrient, is if you're not getting enough protein, then your body may take the calories from your muscles. If you are actually in a calorie deficit, we want to make sure that we're getting the micronutrients as well as the macronutrients. There's a lot of benefits: skin, mood, energy, sleep patterns, bowel movements, overall wellness to eating healthy. That is a great thing to do. It's really good to eat, quote, healthy, which healthy would just mean whole foods and nutrient dense foods, right? So one food isn't inherently bad or good. It's a sliding scale in terms of the nutrient content versus calories versus what it's going to do to your digestive system, all of those types of things. So eating healthy is good. That's definitely good. It's a good step in the right direction. But if you are eating too much of a healthy food, that's why you're not going to be losing weight. Can you lose weight eating nothing but junk food? For sure. But you're going to feel like crap. Your digestive system is going to be messed up. You probably won't be sleeping very well. You might throw your hormones out of whack because you're not getting what your body actually needs. Okay, next. So eating healthy does not mean you'll lose weight. What does make you lose weight? Calorie deficit. Calorie deficit, heavy compound movements. Move on. Number 5, consistency over perfection. This is something that I deal a lot with my clients about because so many times you feel like you have to be perfect. There's this mentality of like, oh, if I'm not sticking to the plan 100%, then I'm, not doing good, or I'm failing, or whatever. There's so much psychology that goes along into it. But that is part of the plan, is the sustainability, right? It's the consistency, something that you can do long term. And if you're trying to be perfect, well, that just ain't gonna fly. Part of the plan is eating calorie dense foods and enjoying them, right? Part of the plan is eating your, quote, treats, eating your foods that you love and enjoying them. Fixing what's going on up here so that you can continually make progress as you go forward, still eating mostly healthy, still enjoying the foods that you love and your treats and whatever your wife or husband makes for food, or going out with your friends, or having whatever. That has to be part of it, or else it's just not going to be consistent. You're not going to be able to do it long term. That's the whole point. So having rest days, not going to the gym, not sticking 100% part of the plan is part of the plan. I know, that is part of it. Being able to do this forever, enjoying it, making it more of a lifestyle versus a cut and dry, I'm going to do a diet for 6 weeks and then after that I'm just going to completely go off the rails, right? Consistency over perfection. If you have any questions on that, like always, message me, DM me, ask me, whatever. I'd love to chat with you about it. So these are the 5 truths that people, there's a lot more. I can tell you that. There is a lot more, but we will get to those in time. If you have any questions that could go onto this list, or if you are guilty of any of these things, DM me or put them in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, depending on whatever platform you are on and watching this, and I will check in the next time.